a seat at the table. This is the story of the Road to Reserved Seats for Women bill. For years, women's groups have tried to push Nigeria's democracy toward balance.
Hi, my name is Chief Mrs. Osaso Igbenedi Onoguche. I am the CEO of TOS Group of Companies and the convener of the Reserved Seats for Women's Bill campaign coalition. The journey for the passage of the Reserved Seats for Women's Bill did not begin today. In fact, our mothers, our sisters have gone before us, all the way back to the 8th Assembly. A bill was proposed then, a Gender and Equal Opportunities Bill, was proposed by Senator Biodun Olujimi, and it had the backing of the Senate President at the time, and unfortunately he failed.
In the 9th Assembly, 5 gender-related bills moved through Parliament with over 100 lawmakers backing them. The First Lady herself entered the chambers to show support. The backlash was swift.
Their excuse was that the advocacy that was embarked on at the time was not far-reaching. The legislators complained that on the day of voting, the First Lady, Aisha Buhari, in her magnanimity, came to the chambers and reiterated her support through her physical presence that this bill is very important to me as First Lady, it's important to Nigerian women, and I urge you as lawmakers to vote in support of it. Unfortunately, that backfired. The lawmakers saw that as a threat, and they decided that they will vote against the bill.
Outside the gates of the National Assembly, women blocked the entrance, weeping and pleading for a reversal. The bills died anyway. From those ashes, a different idea was born. Not to change every law at once, but to change the room itself. In the 10th Assembly, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives introduced something new: a constitutional amendment to create reserved seats for women.
The Reserved Seats for Women's Bill was conceived by the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu.
Passing this bill will reaffirm Nigeria's moral authority as Africa's largest democracy. When women take their rightful place in decision-making, and when the girls of today are empowered to become the leaders of tomorrow, our democracy is strengthened and our governance improve and our nation's potential fully realized. When we shrine inclusion in policy and practice, we do more than change laws. We change the Nigeria we all dream of.
I saw all over the news how this piece of legislation was sponsored by a man this time. He had gained a considerable amount of momentum. And I said, okay, this is a leader that we need to spotlight. This is a leader that we need to acknowledge the efforts that he has put out there to ensure that women have a voice. And that's how TOS Foundation got involved. It's a reform whose time has come, and we're bringing all hands on deck. We are lobbying the traditional rulers, the religious rulers, the parliamentarians, the civil society organizations, everyone coming to the table to ensure that the importance of this bill is passed to our lawmakers. So we believe that this time around something different will happen.
She is the convener, a businesswoman, a chief, a wife, a young mother, juggling toddlers and national politics at the same time. She and her team have built a campaign that learns from past mistakes by bringing everyone on board from the start, so nothing stands in the way of the results they want to achieve.
In Oyo State, we're a little bit different. The head of service, the SSG, they tick the box as far as gender inclusivity. Also, we have 4 commissioners in the cabinet that are women. So you have my support.
We came today to see His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Imo State, Governor Hope Uzodinma, who is the renewed Hope Ambassador, recently named by the President. We came to see him to get his support.
Over 10 assemblies in Nigeria have no women at all. As a matter of fact, a running joke is that in Jigawa State, the chairperson of the Women Affairs Committee is a man.
I think we are all in agreement that we should involve more women, so that we will also mainstream the women without compromising merit. So, and I have of late discovered that we have so many intelligent and brilliant women around the society. My last meeting with my members, so we already agreed I will support the bill. It's a popular bill, so I wish you all the best of luck.
My name is Caleb Mutfwang. I'm privileged to be the governor of Plateau State. I have had the privilege of working with several women in government. My deputy is a woman. Several appointees holding key positions in government are women, and I've found their contributions invaluable. I'm therefore strongly advocating to urge the National Assembly to pass the bill reserving seats for women in Parliament.
She's lobbying members. She has come to lobby members of the National Assembly. A legitimate tool, a legitimate way to get things done. And I believe she has disarmed all of us, both the House and the Senate.
Mr. President, your endorsement of this bill will be a turning point. It will send a powerful message across Nigeria that this Senate is ready to lead with integrity, to legislate with empathy, and to act with boldness in pursuit of equality.
On my part, and on the part of the members of the Nigerian Senate, I have 4 daughters, and I would like to see 2 or 3 of them in the National Assembly.
Women constitute almost half of our population, but remain severely underrepresented in Parliament. This weakens our democracy and undermines national security.
And just like before, the First Lady, who is also a senator, has now stepped forward to champion the reserved seats for women's bill.
I have watched with keenness in recent months as various interest groups across our beloved nation and even international bodies have gathered momentum in support of this particular bill. Across the world, countries that have adopted varying forms of affirmative measures have seen improvements in the quality of governance. Nigeria can and should also benefit from such progressive ideologies. And in whatever way the reserved seats for women bill may evolve, or any other measure that supports women's participation, I trust in your collective wisdom, your experience, and your patriotism to steer the nation towards a solution that is constitutionally sound and politically workable.
Support has come from outside the chambers too, from the states that have quietly been doing more.
I'm Her Excellency Ambassador Professor Olufalake Abdulrazak. I'm the First Lady of Kwara State and the chairperson of the Nigeria Governor Spouses Forum, and I run my NGO, which is called the Ajike People Support Center. In Kwara, we have a local government chairman who's female. In the governor's first tenure, there were more women than men in the cabinet. In the second tenure now, there's 50-50%. We've signed the 35% affirmation bill, 6 months maternity leave, and all the gender laws. So, we think we should also assist in making sure that this transcends to House of Representatives and the Senate.
My name is Honorable Mohammed Bello El-Rufai. I represent the excellent people of Kaduna North Federal Constituency. I'm from Kaduna State. I can't fathom someone that's not in support of it. I don't understand how or why someone would be against the bill. I am in support of it because I won't go as far as saying a national emergency, but it's certainly a national issue in my view. Women are the backbone of every society. Whatever initiative as a member that I've tried to push to my people, women revolve around it. So how do you implement policies or improve the welfare and quality of life of people if you don't have enough voices from the gender that shapes society the most? So I'm fully in support of it, and I think most of our colleagues are.
For some lawmakers, the support is rooted in memory.
My name is Honorable Mukhtar Tolani Shagaya, and I represent Nigerians, starting from Ilorin West, Asa, Federal Constituency of Kwara State. and I happen to be the Deputy Chairman of the House Committee on Basic Education and Services. I remember the electoral process, and I remember the role women played for me as a young person trying to penetrate an environment where youth are not, well represented, and they stood by us from the beginning throughout the entire process, knowing even where to give us advice to make sure we were able to be successful. So I feel it's absolutely essential for women to participate because they are the bedrock of the political process.
My name is Honorable Mukhtar Umar Zakari, representing Tara Onifere constituency. I'm from Kano, and a member of NNPP Konkosia. In Kano, like in my constituency, most of the people that voted for me, my loyal voters, are women. So, they give to me, so why not give back? Their problems, you can only know their problems from them. No matter how close we are, no matter how we are with them, they know themselves better than us. So if they are part of us in the parliament, I believe they will contribute more in development of women themselves better than us. In Kano, we have women engineers, women pilots, and a lot of so. So if we can get those things in Kano, why not women in parliament?
My name is Akin Alabi, a member of the House of Representatives, representing Egbeda on our federal constituency of Oyo State. I'm the chairman, House Committee on Works. I think it's a good idea. It's a brilliant idea. I'm a progressive. I like new ideas to move things forward. I always want to try. Let's try. And besides, it's going to explode the number of women automatically, instantly. Why not? We need women in the space. We need more women to get encouraged to join us. So it's a no-brainer as far as I'm concerned.
Nigeria is the giant of Africa, but when it comes to women's participation in parliament, we sit at the very bottom. Across the continent, countries are moving forward, electing women, empowering voices, sharing leadership. But Nigeria remains one of the lowest.
So I think significantly, we lag behind when we compare ourselves to other African countries. According to the Africa Barometer 2024, we rank 180 out of 185 countries in terms of women's representation. We have about 4% of women legislators. We really do lag behind. Rwanda is leading with 61.3% women in its parliament.
This is not good news for Nigerian politics. I don't think anyone can deny that. Math is clear and arithmetic is objective and has no mercy.
They say men lie, women lie. The numbers won't lie. So we know that it's jarring. It's not something that in this day and age, I think we should cover our heads and shame.
In our constitution, we have what we call federal character. But many of us have narrowed the meaning of federal character on the basis of ethnicity. No, federal character goes beyond ethnicity. It's talking about the character of Nigeria, the makeup of Nigeria. And a fundamental aspect of that makeup is gender. So it's not just about ethnicity or about religion, but also about gender. So we've given ourselves another reason why we must pass this bill.
On paper, the bill is simple and radical.
The reserved seats for women's bill is looking to add 74 additional seats to the National Assembly and 108 additional seats across the 36 state assemblies, giving you a total of 182 extra seats for women only to contest.
Global experience shows that when women take part in security policy making, countries adopt more effective strategies for prevention, community engagement, victim protection, and long-term peace building.
Yet, for all the logic and all the numbers, resistance remains.
The gaps are majorly based on ignorance, fueled by a lack of understanding of the purposive intention of that piece of legislation, which is not by any means to take away already existing seats of the men who are going to vote or the women who are going to vote.
The biggest threat to the passage of this bill is the lack of understanding or the miscommunication that this bill seeks to take seats away from parliamentarians. And that is not what the Reserve Seats for Women's Bill is trying to do.
A Reserve Seats for Women bill is a good way in order to get some numbers up. It doesn't affect the already assigned seats in the House. I think people really need to understand that. It's just extra seats.
It's an error to say, our seats will be threatened by others. No, nobody's seats will be threatened by others.
Recently, a lawmaker said to me, even his mother, he cannot give up his seat for. So talk less of just, giving it up for any woman. So it's important that we continue to emphasize that these are additional seats.
After all, they are not taking my seat. It's an additional seat for them. So we need to support it.
A 16-year sunset clause written into the Constitution. After that, the law must be reviewed or allowed to lapse.
This is our chance to support Nigerian women. It is not something that will last forever. This is only to last for 16 years. And if after 16 years, if it feels it's not working, then we can do away with it.
It's better to go in softly and amend. When that 16 years approaching, you amend. By then they have seen it's not a threat, they've seen it's not a problem, they can accommodate the amendment.
Some say the bill is tokenism. Some say it will undermine merit. Others hide behind culture and religion, insisting that politics is a man's world, that women cannot cope, that leadership belongs to one gender.
If you're a man, for example, and you're against this, waiting concern is women competing with women, so the best women emerge, so we improve the quality of this great institution. So it is merit-based.
The reserve seats is a merit-based system because keeping the seats doesn't mean you're appointing anyone to the seat. They need to be voted in. Anybody who is vying for an elective position knows what they have to do. You need to get people on your side. You need to show that you're competent. You need to be able to come up with the ideas that people would think, hang on, I think she's talking sense and I think she's going to bring a lot to the table. That is merit, as far as I'm concerned.
These seats, right, those that are going to come in are going to work harder than the rest of us. Because for someone like me, I represent 2 local governments. Some just 1 local government, some 3, some 4. I represent 2 local governments. I have to campaign in only 2 local governments. For my understanding of the bill, the extra seats cuts across the entire state, right? So in Oyo State, for example, the woman that's going to win a special seat is going to campaign in 33 local governments. I don't envy her. So there's going to be a lot of strong, competent women coming into parliament, which is going to improve things in general.
Islam honors women. It gives them rights, dignity, and a voice. But too often, culture is mistaken for religion, and Islam is used as an excuse to hold women back.
In part of our country, allowing women to participate in this process is very difficult because we have culture, we have religion, and other things. So if you encourage them through this way, they can be able to make it over.
I'm glad that this forum is a partnership of diverse platforms brought together by the need to mainstream women into governance. I'm particularly glad because this is one of the fundamental goals of the founders of the Sokoto Caliphate. African Muslim pre-colonial politics had a rich record of women participation in scholarship, administration, and politics.
Now is the time for each of us to summon the wisdom of our forebears who taught us that nations are not built by the comfort of consensus alone, but by courage, sacrifice, and shared responsibility. I don't need to talk much, but I believe that every society, the respect that that society generates to the opposite sex is directly proportional to the advancement and development of that particular society. So I urge you, my distinguished colleagues, to lend a voice of support to the clamor for representation of our sisters in the National Assembly.
Today's theme, advancing women's representation through policy, comes at a perfect moment as we push for the reserved seats in Parliament. And I'd like to thank everyone, especially His Excellency, the Deputy Speaker, for working hard to make this historical constitutional reform a reality.
We have justified that because it's less than 1% contribution or 1% contribution from the National Assembly budget. On the other side, if we're investing 1% of the National Assembly budget and we're getting what have been projected by McKinsey, World Bank, on our GDP, what that inclusion will do for our economy, because like we've always said, it's not tokenism. It means that it's a good investment, economically speaking, for the nation to have the women on the table of policy making.
When women get into these offices and into these spaces, they will prove themselves beyond any reasonable doubt that they deserve to be there, and they will work hard and they will work well.
Beyond statistics and speeches, the bill raises a simple question. What happens when a market woman in Calabar or Kaduna or Enugu looks at the parliament and finally sees someone who looks like her?
I have 2 daughters, and I would love them to be able to aspire for the things that they want. We need to set examples for them. And one of the ways to do this is to put women in office so that my girls can see that this is possible. So doing this, the girl coming up, turning on the TV, seeing a lot of women in parliament, any woman that is interested in politics, governance, public policy and the likes will be motivated. So I think we're not doing this for us. So we're not doing it for the women that will get into office when this passes. We're doing it for the young girls out there and the little girls that haven't been born yet.
My name is Bamidele Abiodun. I'm the wife of the governor of Ogun State. I'm Mrs. Sulaiha Kwarata, First Lady of Katsina State. I support the reserved seats for women bill strongly.
Mo ṣe àtìlẹ́yìn fún reserve seat for women bill.
Ina goyon bayan wannan kujerar nan da muke neman mu mata a Nigeria.
And I definitely support the reserved seats for women bill.
I strongly support the reserved seats for women bill in Nigeria.
And I strongly support reserved seats for women bill.
TOS is using new technology to make voting transparent.
We are very excited that our tech-savvy youth have come up with this tracker to ensure accountability and that promises reflect into votes. We have also 27 MPs who are saying yes to the vote in Kano. We have 9 over 9 in Yobe as well. Okay, Zamfara, unfortunately, we had 9 no's and 1 yes. So this is a tracker that is very fluid, and over time we'll be able to continue to monitor their receptiveness towards this bill.
This is our final push.
When you are giving birth as a woman, that last push is the most important. You are weak, you are tired. And I know that we are all exhausted from all the efforts that we have put in, but one more push so we can get this bill passed into law.
The question is the topic of this discussion new? Definitely no. I believe we have gone round in circles on this particular issue for so long. I ask myself, is this bill indeed possible to scale through? Yes.
I tried this same bill when I was the Speaker of the House. We came so close, but then close doesn't cut it. I believe this dynamic 10th Assembly will finish the job.
If we do this now, the 10th Assembly will go down in the history of our legislature as the set that stood for women.
Let us be the generation that said yes to inclusion, yes to fairness, and yes to a stronger Nigeria. Thank you all, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Reserve seats for women. Say it loud, say it strong. Reserve seats for women.